Hi guys, coming at you from space. This is just a wall in my house with space on it. Got Jupiter down there. I'm going to do something a little bit different for you today. We're going to take a break from the manga readings, and I'm going to show you my anime shirt collection. It's not the most versatile collection, to be fair. There's a lot of Dragon Ball Z content, but I hope you enjoy me parading my t-shirts for you. And here is my first piece. This is from the video game Danganronpa, which is also technically an anime, but I believe the games came first. Now here it says Hope's Peak Academy Reserve Student. There's a nice emblem there. And it's a black and white 3/4 sleeve number. Danganronpa centers around a group of high school students, and they get trapped in said high school, and a mysterious entity forces them to play a murder mystery game. And one by one, these students are getting murdered, and you, as the player, have to figure out who done it. The atmosphere, the writing, the characters, the murder mystery element, all very intriguing. The music is great. I really enjoyed the first game. I did play the second one, did not enjoy it as much. I did feel as though it got a little bit silly, a little bit over the top, but I do recommend playing the first Danganronpa game. Let's take a look at the back of the shirt, and as we can see, there is nothing there. Now, I got this shirt from Etsy, I believe. It's definitely not an official shirt by any means. On to the Dragon Ball Z shirts now. Here we have Trunks with his famous quote, "Come with me if you want to lift." Come with me if you want to lift! We all love that Trunks quote. That, of course, is actually a quote from Terminator 2, the film Terminator 2. It has absolutely nothing to do with Dragon Ball. I don't know why they decided to put that quote on a shirt with Trunks. However, I like it. It's ridiculous. I wear this shirt in the gym. Don't believe there's anything happening on the back. That's correct. Okay, here's my next Dragon Ball Z piece, and it's Goku. We all know and love Goku. We have Super Saiyan 1 Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan God Goku, and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Goku, otherwise known as Super Saiyan Blue. It's an interesting selection of forms. I am missing Super Saiyan 2. That's my favorite form. I'm a bit disappointed it's not on here. It got cut for whatever reason. This is a cool shirt. It's a tie-dye style. It's kind of funky and looks pretty cool from the back. This is another shirt I wear in the gym, and I channel Goku's strength, and it gives me power to lift heavy weights. I have very fond memories of watching Dragon Ball Z as a kid. It used to air, I think, at 8 a.m. And so my friends used to make fun of me because I would turn up to school a little bit late because I wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z. I think I was supposed to be at school at 8:30 in the morning, but because Dragon Ball started at 8, I would get to school 10 or 15 minutes late, much to the delight of my friends who would rib me, a little bit of good-natured ribbing, which of course young boys do, and that's fine. I'm not scarred at all by these times, but honestly, it was totally worth it. I have the best memories of watching Dragon Ball Z as a child, and it aired in a very interesting way. You know, this was pre-YouTube, pre-streaming services. You couldn't find this show anywhere else unless you watched it when it aired, and quite often they would run out of episodes that they were receiving from Japan, or perhaps they were taking their time with the dubbing. So you'd get to a point in the series, and then because they had no new episodes to present, it would just go back to the start, and you'd have to watch the entire series again until you got to the new episodes, and by that time, they were ready to go. It was a very unique way to experience the show. It could get a little bit frustrating, but it made those epic moments that much better because you were waiting months and months, maybe even a year, to get to them. My next Dragon Ball Z shirt is an android's theme, And this one says the Red Ribbon Androids. And of course, you've got Android 16, Android 17, and Android 18. Dragon Ball Z for me is at its best during the Android and Cell sagas. That's not to say that the Saiyan and Namek and Frieza sagas aren't amazing, because they are, but they are a little bit drawn out, especially the Namek saga. There's a little bit of filler and it takes a long time to get going. For me, the pacing of the Android and Cell sagas is pretty perfect. You've got some genuine fear being created by these villains. When the androids first get introduced, they're really creepy and scary, and the same goes for Cell as well. And it's got amazing fights, it's well-paced, it's interesting. You've also got Trunks coming into the mix from the future, and who could forget Gohan going Super Saiyan 2 for the first time, and then the famous Kamehameha battle with Cell. So epic. And Dragon Ball Z, it's a tough show to recommend to people because there's a lot of it. You know, if you include Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball, the OG series, and Dragon Ball Z, we're talking 500-600 episodes plus. And there's a lot of crap in there, let's be honest. But in my opinion, the best moments of Dragon Ball Z are the best moments of any medium of art. TV, film, video games, books. They're so amazing. Okay, we have another Dragon Ball shirt here. This one just basic white with the Dragon Ball logo. And then there's a bit going on the back on this one. We've got some OG Dragon Ball art with Kid Goku and Bulma. And there's a quote on the back there, I believe it says something like, "The journey for the 7 Dragon Balls that can grant any wish started." Speaking of those epic Dragon Ball moments, of course who could forget Goku going Super Saiyan for the first time? And the way the show was presented, as I said, when I was a kid, we had to wait so long for these new episodes that it really built up the intrigue and the mystery of the Super Saiyan. It had been getting mentioned on the show for months and months, you know, Vegeta talking about the legend of this Super Saiyan from 10,000 years ago, and that one day the Super Saiyan would appear again. It felt like months, maybe even over a year, from the first time Super Saiyan was mentioned before we actually got to see it. And what an incredible moment it was. I remember vividly watching it with my older brother before school. We knew this episode was coming for weeks and weeks because they were hinting at it, and then I believe the episode title was something like Super Saiyan. It basically told you what was going to happen. So we sat there in awe, watching Krillin getting killed by Frieza, and then Goku snapping, seeing his best friend being murdered, and the lightning, the music, the hair flashing gold. Oh, still gives me goosebumps to this day. And my final piece from Dragon Ball is this jumper, sweater, sloppy Joe, whatever you want to call it. Just nice, little oversized number, which I like. And it's got Dragon Ball art. That's Kid Goku, that's Master Roshi, and that's Krillin. And just a nice plain back. This one's going to be good for the winter. Not that we get much of a winter in Australia, or in Brisbane anyway, but it's still super cozy. I would recommend Dragon Ball Z to everyone out there if you haven't seen it and you are thinking about watching it. There's a lot of episodes. It's not consistently amazing like any long-running anime. The quality comes and goes, but at its best, you can't beat it. Those moments that it gives you, you'll remember them forever. Here we have the first of my 2 shirts from Jujutsu Kaisen, JJK. And this one is a white shirt and it depicts the character Gojo, being very cool, being very swag. I like Jujutsu Kaisen. It's not my favorite. I've seen seasons 1 and 2. I have not watched the film Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I think it has really cool characters, really great fights. I do think it could be a bit better narratively. It's similar to my problem with Demon Slayer. The core story just isn't quite there for me. And here is my second JJK shirt. I love this one. This might be my favorite of the whole collection. It's this beautiful pink color, and it's got the character Nobara. There's a bit going on the back on this one. I'll give you a nice look there. I would recommend JJK to anyone who hasn't seen it. Storyline is a little bit all over the place, but it's a very cool show and it is worth watching. Here is the first of 2 shirts I own from Hunter x Hunter. Ah, Hunter x Hunter. One of my favorite things in the world. I absolutely love the show. Probably my favorite anime of all time. On par with Dragon Ball Z. I'd say the quality overall of Hunter x Hunter is better, but there is of course the nostalgia factor with Dragon Ball Z. So this shirt is a replica of the one that Mr. Isaac Netero, Chairman Netero, wore when he appeared during the Chimera Ant arc. He basically turned up to kick some ass, and he was wearing this shirt with some tights and shoes. Just a really simple kind of combat training outfit. But man, he is an absolute beast when he's wearing this shirt. So it's got his sort of, I can't remember what this means, but it's the 3/4 sleeve design. Nothing going on the back. But what a character he is. He's my favorite character from the show, and I highly recommend watching Hunter x Hunter for anyone who hasn't seen it. My next Hunter x Hunter shirt, and you guessed it, it's my boy again. Got this nice sort of off-white, creamy sort of color, and there he is. He's just being goofy. You know, Netero is actually a bit of a goofball in the first half of the season. It's not until later on in the Chimera Ant arc that you really see his true power. Hunter x Hunter for me is at its best from the Heaven's Arena arc through to the end of the York New City arc, or Phantom Troop arc. That sort of 25-30 episode stretch is peak anime. It's so amazingly done, incredibly interesting characters, very cool, thought-out fights. The Nen system, the magic system that the show has, is super interesting, and it allows for some really creative fights. You know, strength, pure strength, doesn't really matter so much in Hunter x Hunter. It's all about your techniques and which ones match up better to others. It's an incredible show, and I highly recommend it. Now, it simply wouldn't be right to not include a shirt from Mr. Junji Ito himself, this being the Cheeseman channel, and me having read several of Junji Ito's works on this channel. I had to get a shirt from the great man. Now, when I first bought this shirt, I had no idea where this panel was from, so it was a fun exercise for quite a few months just reading through his works, waiting to find where this was from, and recently I did find it. It's from Marionette Mansion, which I recently read on this channel. You can go watch that video right after you watch this one. I did it in 2 parts, and it was excellent. Definitely recommend watching that video or reading it yourself. Junji Ito, what can I say? He's the master of horror. Really enjoy reading his works. Cowboy Bebop. What a show. One of the coolest shows ever made. I've watched it several times. It's one of my favorites. It's got everything. Great writing. It's funny. It's bittersweet. It's poignant. You'll laugh. You'll cry. And it does have one of the best English dubs ever done in anime. So here we have Faye Valentine and Spike Spiegel. I would definitely recommend Cowboy Bebop to anime fans and non-anime fans. I think it's a great sort of gateway into anime, watching this show. It's very mature, well-written, an incredible ride. And my final shirt for this video is a bit of a different one. It's from The Simpsons. Not an anime, technically, but this image is from the Mr. Sparkle commercial, which of course they show on Japanese television in The Simpsons. Mr. Sparkle. Big Simpsons fan. Great memories of watching it. It used to air on Channel 10 at 6 p.m. on weeknights here. And then when we got Foxtel, which is cable television here in Australia, A channel called Fox 8 used to regularly run Simpsons marathons. Nothing better than just sitting down on a weekend and watching 8 hours of The Simpsons. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for indulging me. I enjoyed going through my collection, and I hope to expand this collection. I will keep buying anime shirts, especially Dragon Ball, Hunter x Hunter, shows that I really like. And perhaps I'll do another one of these videos in a year or two when I have more stuff to show you. Farewell, and I will see you in the next video.